Hi my dear friends, I hope you are all doing well wherever you are. Welcome back to our video series. In this session we're going to create the exit button and also the options button, which will lead to a new page. Okay, so let's just start. So we have this start button here, and I can make 2 copies of it and use them for our initial parts of creating the options and the exit button. So I'm going to make these new buttons smaller, and we're going to adjust the text. Don't worry about that. So I'm going to make a copy of the second one. Again, I'm going to put it underneath. So this is going to be the exit button. So let me just adjust the size real quick. Okay. And after we are satisfied with the placement of the buttons, we can just change the size of the text, and we have to make the second and the third button smaller. Okay, so let me just change this into option and the next one into exit. Okay, I'm gonna make this smaller too. Let me just move it to the right as well. So I'm gonna go here again and tamper with these numbers until option is in the right place. Okay, better now. And a little bit smaller in terms of font, maybe 18 would be nice. Let's try out a couple of numbers for this option placement, maybe 80, 90, 100. Let's see which one works best and stick with that. Okay, so let's move on to the exit button, make it smaller. 18 was good for options, so I'm going to use it for my font for exit, 18, and let's just move it to the right a little, maybe 90 would be good. Okay, so that's not bad. Now, because we want to juxtapose the start button from the rest, maybe we can just change the color of the text for the next two. I'm going to make the next two buttons maybe gray. So I'm going to do the same for exit 2, another shade of gray. Alright, so start really stands out and is bigger, and the color of its text is different too. Alright. And one last thing, let me just make sure if they are all aligned and they have roughly the same distance from the left border. Let's just adjust it real quick so that everything is aligned and perfect. Okay. There we go. Okay, that's good. So let's just start working on the command. So let's just start with the exit button. I want the game to close completely if somebody clicks on the exit button. So I go down and under events, I click on unclicked and I go to the event graph. Here, these two nodes were for the start button. If I hold down C on my keyboard, I can make a comment for them and I can just write it down so that I don't mix it up. Start. Okay. Now let's move down to this button here, our exit button. We're going to have to link something to it for the game to be closed completely. So I'm going to link it, search for quit game. Let's see, quit game. It's this one here. I add it to the event graph, and this one will simply close the game for us. Okay, done. I'm going to make a comment for it, and I'm going to make the comment bigger and call it exit. Okay. So we know which is which. I'm going to save and compile, go back and test it out. Go to the game mode, click on exit, and everything's closed. It works. Go back, go to start. It's working. Try it again. Exit. It's just closed. So it's working fine. Okay. Our exit button is working just fine. All right. Alright, now that we are done with the exit button, we can move on to the options button. But before that, let me show you something. We will be working on making another button so that whenever we are inside the project and we want to pause and go back to the main menu, we could. So we will learn about that later on in the course, so don't worry about it. Everything is planned. And at the end of the course, you will have learned all about how to create nice looking menus. Let's go back to the options button. For the options button to work, we need to make a new window or a new page. So when somebody clicks on options, they get a new page and they get a set of items or other buttons that they can just tamper with. And a new page means creating a new widget. So we would need a new widget for that new page. And that is what we're going to do. Let's start with the screenshot that we're going to use as the background for the new widget. So I'm going to go back to the project and find the new angle for the background of this new widget. I'm going to take a screenshot from this wall, so I'm going to get rid of these for a second. I'm going to delete these for a second, and I'm going to take a high quality screenshot from this wall. You can use any angle that you like. So this looks nice. Let me just decrease the camera speed, find the right angle. This is going to be the background for my option. So I'm going to take a high quality screenshot, multiplier on 3. That will be good. So this screenshot is going to be captured, and once it's done, I can just import it into Unreal Engine. Okay, so I'm going to drag it into Unreal Engine this time. I'm going to drag it inside the photos folder that I made for my photos. It's here, so I'm going to put it here. Okay, and it's ready now. So let's just quickly recap. What I want to happen is that when somebody clicks on options, they will be directed or redirected into another widget or another page outside of this, okay, which is going to be the options page, and for that we need a new widget. And I'm going to create a new widget here, and at this point you can create a new folder for your widget so that all the widgets are in one place. But regardless, I'm going to create a new widget. I'm going to call this one option. Okay, and now it's ready. I can double click on it and go to the event graph. Now we're going to repeat the steps that we took for the menu widget. I'm going to add a canvas, and after that I'm going to choose a size. Full HD will be fine. Okay, I'm going to add an image now. Okay, and I'm going to resize the image so that it covers the whole canvas. Okay, and I go to the appearance panel, to the brush, and click on image, and I'm going to add my image now. Now you're going to forget the steps. It's normal, but you need to create at least 6 or 7 of these widgets to remember all this stuff. Okay, so make sure to practice. I'm going to click on this image, and I'm going to load my the image that I just took. Let's just call it OP1. Rename it to OP1. All right, and now all that is left to do is to just search for it here and select it. Okay, so this is my background. I'm going to compile and save for now, and later on we will add all the different qualities, resolution, anti-aliasing, all that good stuff. Okay, so now we have created a new widget for our options button, and it has a new background. It's this one. Okay, so next is telling Unreal to navigate to this new widget whenever the player clicks on this options button. Okay, so we go to the events, click on clicked like we used to, and we will land in the event graph. Now here we need to remove the previous widget because we cannot have 2 widgets working at the same time. Let me just show you real quick. When somebody clicks on options, we need to tell Unreal to remove the previous widget, which is called menu level 1. Okay, this widget here, this needs to be removed, and then we need to be navigated to the new widget with the new background. Okay, so that needs to happen, and that requires a new node, and that is precisely what we're going to do here. We're going to add that node right about now. So let me just show you real quick what we did. We went to the options, details panel, and under events we go to unclicked. So inside the graph I'm gonna drag this line here and search for the node that we need. It is remove from parent. That is the node that we need right now. Okay, so we're gonna find it and add it to our event graph. That will take care of deleting the previous widget. Alright, so make sure to take a note and put this down because you may forget the name. Alright, now next we need to create the new widget, which is done by a node called create widget. We add that, and then we load our new widget, which is called option. And after that we need a new node to add to viewport, okay, so that we can see it. And the last thing is linking return to value to target. Alright, this blueprint is ready, and we can just compile and save. Go back and test it. I go to the game mode. Let's test the other 2 buttons first. Exit, it's working. Let's test start, it's working as well. Let's test option now. Okay, it's working too. Alright, let me just double check to be sure. Yeah, it seems to be working fine. Okay, so I am using pictures or screenshots from the project itself, and this picture looks a little too yellow, a little too saturated. So I'm gonna find the original photo and maybe decrease the saturation. It's over here, so I go find saturation, put maybe 0.5, it's better, and increase brightness to 2. Oh, it's too much, maybe 1.2. That's better. Okay, save, and yeah, so the pictures are more harmonious now. All right, so what's next? I told you we're not gonna add the quality and resolution just yet, but we need the back button here. We need the back icon here so that we can just go back to the main menu from the options. Okay, so that's what we're going to create now. So let's start doing that. We need to go back to the option widget. It's this one, and we're going to add a simple button from the palette. All right, so I'm gonna drag a button here, and we can later on adjust the size, pull it here, and we can search the web for a back button or an arrow of some type that I have already done, button PNG back, and I've downloaded one of these so that we could just save time. All right, so we're gonna use that one. I already downloaded it, so let me just change the name to OP2. Now I'm gonna import it inside Unreal, inside the photos folder. I'm gonna drag it over here, put it there. Okay, so everything's ready. Now all we need to do is to just load it. So I click on the widget, go to the button, click on it, and under style and for the normal, I'm gonna search for OP2, and I'm gonna select it. Okay, I'm gonna adjust the size. There, that looks better. Okay, and we need to select the same photo for hovered and pressed. Okay, so I'm gonna do that real quick. OP2 for hovered and pressed. Okay, and after I did that, I gotta take care of draw as to, make sure that it's on image for all of them. Okay, there. Now we need to save and compile, and we can just go back and test it. Okay, it's a little too small, so I'm going to go back, make it a little bit larger, and we can just add a sound to it as well. What was the sound that we used for the other menu? I think for a start it was S01. Yes, so we can add that too. Let's go and test. Okay, so the button seems to be working fine, and we can hear the sound as well. So now it's time to link a command to it. It's time to make Unreal understand that when the player clicks on this button here, they should be navigated back to our first widget or our menu level widget. Let me just show you real quick in my content browser. It's not this one, the main one, which is called start. Okay, so they need to be redirected back to this widget here. So let's just do that. The button is selected, and we need to go down to events, and then on clicked we go to the event graph. First we need another node called remove parent. Like the previous widget, remove parent is gonna delete the widget that we are at, and then we're going to need another node called create widget for the new one, and we're gonna load the start widget. Okay, the first one. And like the previous one, we need another node called add to viewport. Okay, so that we can see it. Add to viewport, and we're gonna link return value to target. Done. Now that the back button here is ready, let's make a comment for it. You can do that by pressing C on the keyboard while one of these nodes is selected. Okay, so let's just do that. C on the keyboard, one of the nodes are selected, and we can just resize the comment window, and we're gonna write back. We're gonna have a lot of nodes on this event graph, so commenting is a good habit to get into. Let's compile and save and actually test it. Let's see what options does. Seems to be working, works fine. So we did this very easily this time. And if we click on the start, we can go inside the project and go to the different sections of the building. Okay. Alright, so in this session we learned how to create another widget, another page, options, and the widget that we needed for it. And also we made two buttons, exit and options, okay? And we also made a back button. So what's left? We need to add a pause feature to when we are moving inside the project. We need a gallery, and we also need to take care of the different options that we actually have inside the options widget. So we're going to take care of all of these, and we're going to start with the gallery in the next video. So I will see you there.